What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Jarrell Washington channel. So I was scrolling through CNBC and I came across this article that was talking about child daycare and the price range in different states. Washington, D.C. Man, the cost there is expensive. I know that living is expensive as well there, but it was a paycheck. A year annual salary, $22,000 annually for childcare there. So it kind of got me thinking, even though I know I don't live there in DC, but just childcare in general can be expensive along with other things. So, I just wanted to make a video talking about all the different types of preparations that you might want to go through so that you can make sure that you are financially ready to take on having a new child in your home. One of the big things that they made us do back when we had to adopt was fill out this long sheet full of all the different type of financial burdens, the income, our assets, things like that we had. And that just got me thinking, man, is anybody really ready for a kid when you have to factor all that stuff in? I aim to talk about that today, maybe help somebody out with that. So here's just a few tips that you can use for to know that you're financially ready to take on the big job of having a child. So one of the first things that you need to do is to take inventory of where you are now. That means to go ahead and see your income, see your assets, and see your debt. Some people like to make a list, Excel spreadsheet, something like that. Whatever you need to do, grab your bank statements, whatever you need to do, add everything up, see what it all comes out to, see how heavy of a load your debt is, and then also see how great your income is, see what all your assets are, really try to factor everything in so that you have a great sense of what you are worth. Take that inventory, man. Get all that stuff ready to go so that and you just won't be caught off guard with all the different things that come into having a child. So that is one of the first things that you need to do. Along with that is taking a look at your job as well, seeing what kind of benefits you have on your job, whether they give you paid leave or unpaid leave, things like that really help out because, not all jobs give you paid leave. Not all jobs give you unpaid leave. You gotta check that stuff out, man. You gotta see what everything is. It's also in some states, they make it mandatory for you to have to for the jobs to pay for people to take their leave. So you just gotta see what state you're in, see what they do for you as far as those type of benefits are concerned. And then speaking of benefits, you also want to see what kind of burden or anything like that might come up with having to add on extra benefits and things of that nature. One of the other things that you may have to consider is what it's gonna look like once the baby is there, once the kids are in your home. You're gonna need to see who's gonna stay at home with them. All right, who's gonna stay at home? Who's gonna take care of these little bambinos? Is it gonna be is one parent just gonna completely come off their job and start taking care of all the kids? Or is it gonna be just like a short-term thing, a long-term thing? Are you guys planning just to have home? Everybody gotta do is stay at home right now anyway, so was it just gonna be something like that? You really got to take a look at that. Go dive deep into that and see what that is. That's step number one. So along with that, you also want to make sure that if this is the case, all right, this is very important. If this is the case that somebody is going to be staying home, you probably want to see if there's some type of way to diminish some of your debt, get some of that debt paid off or paid down, so that way it won't be as big of a burden when it comes time for whichever parent to get off their job and just stay at home and watch the kid. Debt can be very taxing, all right? Take it from me, I know. Debt can be very taxing.
I'm tired, boss.
So the more you can get paid down, the less of a burden it's going to be when it's time for you to come off of your job. And I mean, it just works out a lot better for everyone in the family when there's when you don't have to keep your eyes on so many other moving pieces, and then you can really just focus on the kid. Next thing is to think about child care. Okay, this automatically pairs in. If there's not going to be anybody staying at home, coming off their job or anything like that, then you're going to have to start looking at all the different type of child care that's going to be provided. So you can easily look online to see what type of nanny care there is, what type of daycares there are. One of the things you need to do is shop around for what the daycare expenses are. Shop around for nanny expenses if you're going to go that route. Just see what type of child care there is in your area. My wife and I, we did a lot of looking around, seeing what was the best option for us. Some places were a dump, and even though it was the cheapest, we just weren't going to do it. And then also, some places were amazing. We actually did find an amazing place attached to a church. But that's one of the things that we really had to look at and see what was going on with that. See what the best option for us and for our children would be. Another thing that, we liked the best was that special word, free. F-R-E-E. Man, free childcare is the best. How do you get it? I mean, honestly, it's gonna mainly be family members. Find yourself a family member that ain't got nothing better to do. Let them watch your kids during the day. Hopefully, granny and granddaddy, grandpa and grandma and nanas and all of them, GGs, whatever. Hopefully, they're free and they just love the kids so much that they just watch them for free. That's the best way to do it. Get that stuff for free. And also what you want to do is keep up with your savings. Paying debt down is good. But even better is to have high savings. 10% of your paycheck if you can. If you can do more, but get your savings going as well. So that way it'll just help you out in the long run in case there's an emergency or anything like that. You have to get your savings up. Make time to go over all this stuff. That's one of the biggest burdens on people is time.
That's not fair. That's not fair at all. There was time now.
If you just don't make the time, then you won't even be able to get started with this. You won't be able to sit down, take a look at everything, sit down, search for the daycares, sit down, talk with your spouse about what type of things you want to have for your child and what it's going to cost and all of that. Time. You have to make the time for this. If you don't make time, then it won't fall in line. I just made that up and I'm coining it right now. You don't make time, you don't fall in line. Something like that, man. But that's what you got to do. Children are awesome and they're great. And at the end of the day, whether you got the money or not, don't let that stop you from not having a kid. Pop out as many babies as you want. Adopt as many babies as you want. Don't let money be the main reason why you don't want to have a kid. But it is great to have all those assets and everything set up and ready to go, so that it just makes it a little easier when you have the kids. But that's all I got for now. Y'all have a good day.